Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
All right, welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast, midweek edition, where we give you the picks. I give you the Benjamin report, and Westradamus gives you his picks for the week.
You already know.
So you already know what's happening, what's going down this week, or we actually will review some of the games like we always do. Mm-hmm. So we'll start off with home team. Home team did well this week. I mean, they really, really did well. Like when we was talking about this game on Saturday, we were saying, yeah, this is a game for them to finally show out because they were off a couple of weeks. They got a weak opponent. This is for them to really show out, and show out they did.
Yeah.
The tune of a 48, was it 48-0?
Yeah, I mean, I lost count. I was like, damn,
Yeah, it was like one of those games where I finally tuned out at the end of the game, fourth quarter. Like I wasn't at the edge of my seat wondering if we was going to get a win.
Exactly.
So finally we got the win and we destroyed them. They finally looked like the Miami Hurricanes of old. And, it was just great to see them do that too. I mean, yeah, it was a weak opponent in Duke, but at least they took care of business, which is
exactly.
Game.
Exactly. I mean, me personally, I kind of was scared about the game. Remember, I told you, it could have possibly been a trap game. You reminded me that we don't do so good when we come on our little bye week, and we had like 2 weeks. We had 2 bye weeks in one. So so it kind of had me kind of off on that. Remember, I told you, I didn't mind it being a close game, but I was wrong. I wanted it to be a blowout. I think we both said it was going to be a blowout somewhere, somehow. But I can't really recall what I had said. But normally, of course, I'm going to go with the Canes.
Yeah, I think you said they was going to win by like 15, 16 points or something like that.
Okay.
About the same, but they exceeded our expectations to delight.
Exactly. And De'Aaron King was doing his thing. He did his thing so much. You got a glimpse of N'Kosi Perry again. Another unicorn that we haven't seen in a while. At the end of the day, I really like what the defense was doing. Oh yeah, of course. I'm happy we don't got no quarterback controversy right now. I think we're probably going to be going through one in this off season, trying to figure out if De'Aaron going to go ahead and stay. If what's that dude from USC? Is he planning on coming over here? Will De'Aaron King choosing to stay may hinder him from coming over here because he want to come and start? There's a lot of things that the Hurricanes are going to probably have to address this offseason, but right now we're talking about right now, and the University of Miami is doing what they do. They're doing their things. They don't want to give us no respect still, regardless of the fact. I see it's unfair. You got Ohio State. They only played 4 or 5 games. And they're gonna be like, oh, who do you play, UM? Look, we played more games, won, and the only team that we lost to was Clemson. So and that was a Clemson with their starting quarterback. So right now, I'm kind of pissed off about it. Right now, you got Notre Dame facing Clemson in the ACC championship game. Hopefully, Notre Dame don't wind up winning that and then wind up leaving out of our conference and being like, have their lone ACC championship forever, and we can never avenge that.
You already know that's what's gonna happen, bro.
but for what I see right now, the Canes are doing good. I'm happy that Al Blaze Jr. is out for the season. I'm sorry. I don't want you to be. Yeah, I don't want him to be injured, but I'm happy that he's not playing. I'm happy he's not starting. Besides his name, his ass be getting bombed. His ass be motherfucking. He don't be looking like great. You feel me? Right now, I'm looking at the linebackers. Keontre, I forgot his name.
Keontre Smith.
Yeah, Keontre Smith. Like
out of Chaminade. He's from Chaminade, baby.
He's a beast, man. Like I seen a glimpse of him before that game when he came to, replace one of our linebackers that was injured, and he just. You seen him on the field. Like, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why they ain't playing him already? Same thing with the corners that we got right now. Ivy is not starting. Perfect. Al Blades Jr. is not starting. Now you see that defense how it's actually looking. So I think right now they're saying it's an injury, but I'm really thinking that they seen what me and you was actually seeing when we were actually doing the live watch sport on podcast, and we was like, God damn, man, what the fuck is wrong with Ivy? His ass keep fucking getting beat. Damn, what's up with Al Blaze Jr.? So right
Yeah,
now, I think that they certain people got benched, but they're calling it something else, or somebody had an injury and they could have played through it, and they're like, man, fuck it, just go ahead and have surgery. Probably that's why you're getting bombed, because you're not 100%. Let me convince you to take a step back so we could make one of these young guys take a step forward. But really, realistically, we really don't want you to start because you're trash. But I
yeah,
like the game. I like the team. Al Blaze Jr., Senior, I fuck with you, but damn, man, like your son, he not doing his thing. You feel me? And you already know what it is when you throw up the U. You feel me?
yeah,
Like, like, come on, man.
yeah.
I wanna see your son be 5-star, not somebody that look like he's 2-star playing for the
Right,
University of Miami.
right. Just to talk about Al Blades. Al Blades to me is he's a good player. You expect him to be a better player because he's got the name. He's got
Exactly.
the name Blades, so you expect him to be Al Blades Senior.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
he's really not that. And when I saw him in high school, he was good, but there was other players that were better than
Better.
him on St. Thomas Aquinas. So yeah, I disagree that he should not be playing because I feel like he needs the reps, bro. Like he needs more practice. He needs more game time.
Yeah, but not
That's how
not
I
not
feel
not
about it.
in the not in the expense of the University of Miami, because at the end of the day we had a lot of games that we won that was close. That was won because of a field goal, because of field position and certain things like that. And the person that kind of put us in those positions was Ivy and Blades. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what else to
I,
actually
I
say.
totally I totally agree with you on Ivy, man. I've been off of Ivy after like game two or game three. I'm like, this guy right here, he just gets beat constantly. He's just not in the right position. And it's a shame because he's got the size. He's got the size and the speed too. It's just for some reason he's just not in the right position. So, but Al Blades, not as big as Ivy, but same deficiencies, it seems. I love what I see from Corey Couch, of course,
Ooh, balling,
and from Keontre Smith. Those are two
balling.
players who balled in high school too at Chaminade, won
Hmm.
state championships at Chaminade. So I was expecting the world from both of those two. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't maybe start sooner. Maybe it's just
Cause
because
it's
they're
the
young.
hype. It's the hype. They forget about everything. They feel like they made it already. That's the same thing with Pope and Harley in the beginning of the season, and then they was on a hot seat. Everybody's talking about on ESPN. This is clearly what the University of Miami need. We need wide receivers that can actually beat the corner on the line. We were never open, and I'm like, damn, how come when we see these small schools, they find ways to be wide open, and you just like, how? You
Right.
never get that from the University of Miami. Even the Dolphins, even though we were, kind of switching topics, but even the Dolphins, I don't know what it is about Miami. The O line don't be that great, and you look at the other teams, and their O line is doing their thing. Same thing. Their team may still be garbage, but the O line is doing their thing. Same thing when it comes to the Canes right now. So remember we said Nave Donaldson was
Levon Donaldson had a
he was
great
coming
game.
back. He had a great game.
Had a
I
great
seen him on the
game. Yeah.
sideline next to De'Aaron King talking.
A lot of
He
great
seemed like he
blocks.
was back. Big
Yeah.
ass body. I compared
Needed
him to
that.
the other guys on the bench, and I'm like, God damn, like he looked like he already need to be in the NFL. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely, definitely. If it wasn't for the injury and if he played all season this season, he probably would have left to the NFL next season. So the
see,
red
but
shirt kind of works in our favor, you know.
that injury was kind of like the injury that happened to our guard for the right guard for the Miami Dolphins. Um, Whereas it was a freakish play. I forgot what's his name. He's from Miami, went to New Orleans. It's on the tip of my tongue, but fuck, he's injured right now. Plays for the Miami Dolphins, right
Okay.
guard.
All right.
It'll come back to me in a second, but still, same thing, freak injury, just like Donaldson. The way the guy just rolled over him, and for me, I be looking at certain plays, and I'm like, damn, you did that on purpose, man. I don't care what anybody say, you did that on purpose, and it's clearly, they don't like Miami. You seen, our fucking head coach for the Dolphins had to go on the field, but we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah,
Yeah.
the University of Miami is looking great.
Yeah. One more thing about the Canes before we switch over to the Dolphins is that
What's
I don't
that?
know if you saw this tweet about King and Jalen Phillips like tweeted this week, and King said something to the effect of, "Oh, I love Miami. I love this place." So it makes me feel like, okay, well, maybe
Stan.
he is gonna stay for one more year, because if he coming out and tweeting like that already, and because unfortunate news that we got this weekend is that we're out of the ACC championship game because of Clemson beating Virginia Tech. So when you have that game happen,
Wait,
what?
hold on. You remember when I said a few weeks back, I was like, I don't mind Miami running the table right and not
Oh
being
yeah.
able to make the ACC championship game, so De'Aaron King can stay here, because this is why he came here, to be on
Right.
that stage, to play for ACC championship game, national champion chip, and show the world what he
Yeah.
do, because we normally be on the ACC network.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so yeah, I'm just
So
like, Westerdamus again, predicting certain things.
I gotta give it to you. I gotta give it to you on that, because that tweet, when I seen that tweet, I was like, oh, okay. That means that he's highly considering staying
Mm-hmm.
for one more year, because it was
That's perfect.
official that we not making the ACC championship game. We likely are gonna play in the Orange Bowl if we beat North Carolina this week, and we'll get to that game a little bit later.
Which is
But
fine, because the Orange Bowl is at the crib, so it's all
exactly.
good.
It's fine. All the recruits will get to see us, ball over whoever we play in that game. So, I'm glad to see De'Aaron King not only just ball out in that game, because he totally balled out in that game again, especially in the passing game, especially hitting Harley with with that long pass for a touchdown, hitting Brevin Jordan. I mean, kid just balls all around. But is he like an NFL quarterback yet? I don't quite think
Not
so.
yet.
I think he could use one more
One more
year, and I
year.
think he realizes that too. And why not come back in a regular year where we can play all our games, and Notre Dame won't be in our conference, and we'll get a real shot at actually beating Clemson and making the playoff next year.
Yeah, definitely. And a move like that, man, it just, makes other players want to stay also. People like Brevin Jordan, he wind up being injured. He missed like 4 games.
Right.
Like, that he's probably Miami's best playmaker on offense right now when he's on the field, blocking wise, catching the ball, doing all the intangibles that you need to be a great player. So he just came back, did look good last game. Then you got Harley starting to, come on his own. Pope is starting to come under his own. So again, the only person I really don't mind even is Cam Harris.
Yeah, I don't mind him leaving either, because we got that Franklin coming as a recruit. So we got him as a running back. Jalen Knighton, I feel like he got injured last
Yeah,
game,
he
but
did. He did. I
yeah,
think it's not major.
he still needs a year to develop anyway. I'm really excited about Cheney. I feel like Cheney is gonna be, that workhorse back that we can rely on. So yeah, if we get all these players back, and the other tweet that I saw was Jalen Phillips. Of course, Jalen Phillips is the transfer from UCLA
Come
uh,
on.
that transferred over here. So there's rumors that came out that another big time linebacker out of USC is thinking about transferring. So he tweeted out, "Oh, Miami's a great place to transfer to." That's what he tweeted out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
the boys already bought into this Miami culture down here. So he's still recruiting players from the West Coast. So,
Not
hey,
just that, but I mean, look, COVID's playing a factor of it all also, because at the end of the day, look at California. California's back on shutdown mode, and Miami's still on and popping.
yeah,
Me, I ain't really too much going in in these big gatherings and shit like that. But it's always good to know that like we don't have curfew, that we can still kind of live some type of normalcy. So, that plays a factor also. And not just that, but everybody that wind up transferring wind up looking like they're panning out for the University of Miami. The only person that kind of didn't pan out was Tate Martell, you know, but hey,
Damn,
it is what it
I done
is.
forgot about Tate Martell. I forgot he's even on the team. Like
Come on, man.
he
Hey, it
might as
is what it
well just
is.
hang it up. It's like nothing. Like what you gonna do? Like go to 1 AA and try to be a quarterback?
Whatever you do, do your thing. What was the other quarterback that we had last year that wound up transferring to a no-name school? Um,
Jaron Williams.
Yeah, Jaron Williams. We don't need people like you. We don't need people like Martell. We don't need
Yeah,
one. We don't need people like Cam Harris that want to talk shit in social media about his head coach and his team and the scheme and bullshit like that. We need loyalty, just like the motherfucking Miami Heat. So
yeah.
again, you seen that chain that I posted on our page. It says the Miami Heat, the Canes, and the Dolphins. I didn't see the Florida Marlins on there, but they're part of that too. It looks like we're on the
Yeah, the
verge.
Marlins and the Panthers, y'all part of it too, but we're just waiting y'all to come up like those other
Exactly,
teams.
exactly. You gotta earn your spot.
Right. You know, but yeah, let's transition over to the Dolphins who earned their stripes back in 72, with the undefeated season. But last week they continue to roll on. They're now 8-4 with a defeat over the Cincinnati Bengals. They made the spread.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be a little bit closer, but it was actually a half a point from the spread. It was 11 points. They won by 12. So overall, another strong defensive performance. Like this defense is a top five defense, legit. Like they are up there with the other great defenses in this league. Now the offense, what I was happy to see, and I've been preaching this for the past couple of weeks, is that we finally got Miles Gaskin back, and you saw the difference in the running game. He was breaking off big runs. You finally saw some gashes in the running game, which you haven't seen in the past, I would say 3-4 weeks since he's been injured, which was good to see. I was glad to see that, but you still want to see more offensive production against a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, who are straight garbage.
Oh
Or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but other than that, I'm happy for the win. But they got to be a lot better in these next few weeks if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, as far as that game, like you were saying, the Dolphins, they're continuing to roll on. We got the champagne popped in the back. Why? Because we got good news when we talk about the next game, not the next game, but a few more games after. But again, the Miami Dolphins. I like what I've seen from Tua. Because again, for me, it's really his like fifth game. You have these other rookies that's been playing like the whole since the season actually started. So, they got a large portion of what the NFL is really and truly about. I was feeling some type of way when we played the Rams and Tua didn't look as great. I still was happy that we actually wound up pulling off the win. But I was like, damn, did we make the right decision? But I was stuck in my head. I didn't let that go out. But again, I noticed that when the Rams played the Arizona Cardinals, they did the same thing, same type of player, Tua, and Kyler Murray, two people that we've been praising on this actual show for the longest, and they wind up containing Kyler Murray also, to not be able to win the game. So, it made me look at Tua like, damn, it was not just you, it was just that fucking team. It was just that defense.
Yeah.
So, again, Tua looked he still's not 100% in sync with Devontae Parker with the long ball, but he was getting his 15 yarders. He was getting what he could get. He scrambled a few times. There was one when he scrambled to the left and then he gassed the defender for like a 15-yard, 20-yard catch. I forgot who it was, and not just that, but god damn, Gesicki, man, you just keep being a highlight reel every fucking week. You seen that
Hell yeah.
one-handed catch? I'm like,
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ, that shit was
Yeah,
so,
man.
and me, that just speaks on they fighting for this head coach because as soon as he caught the ball, he went on to the sideline, because at the end, and they showed the replay, and he got, it looked like he got hit by a car in the shoulder, and he still managed to hold the ball. I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Same thing with like Devontae Parker. It was one where it's like, damn, last week they gave him one, because I thought it was not a catch, and this week, like they played the replay, and I'm like, damn, I thought it was not a catch, and they got it to him. So the Dolphins, we're finding a way to keep doing what they do. I like the plain fact that these pussy niggas was trying to cheat. They try to get Grant injured. 2 hits and he
Yeah, it was
didn't
some
get,
bullshit.
like, what the
It was a
fuck?
bush league ass play, like it was ridiculous. It was cool to really see your boy Flores come out there and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like for real.
Exactly.
Like
Come on,
what
man.
you doing? And the fact that they want to fight over some shit like that is just
And you
ridiculous.
wrong. Like,
You totally in the wrong. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And the fact that Xavier Howard and got
kicked out for a
ejected for
slap to
just
the helmet.
not even a slap. It was more like a mush. When you
Yeah.
mush somebody, it
Like, get the
wasn't
fuck
like
out
a
my
real,
face.
yeah, it wasn't like a punch or like that. It was really soft. I mean, America is getting soft in all kinds of ways, but even in football where it's like gladiators, it's like the gladiator sport. It's getting real soft, and I think that was the softest ejection that I've ever seen in the
Oh
NFL.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
ridiculous.
Definitely. I've seen that game, seen the first hit. I'm like, okay, cool. But then the second one, I'm like, damn, like what's going on? And like you said, man, Brian Flores, that's somebody y'all gonna go to war with. You feel me? Most
Right,
coaches, not even just the coach, the whole bench got on the field. Meaning like
right,
we ready. Y'all not gonna motherfucking punk us. You feel me? Especially your garbage ass team. Like, really, y'all? Like, come on
right.
now. So I like everything that happened with the Miami Dolphins. And matter of fact, even after, Wilkins, our number one pick, defensive tackle from Clemson, he
Yeah.
wind up getting into it with offensive linemen, after the game. You know what I mean? Like towards the
Damn,
tunnel.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah, they were speaking on that, and I was like, yeah, of course, that's the people that I want with me. Like, what type of shit you want? What type of shit you doing? Like, take the loss. It's not close. You feel me?
Right.
Just
Exactly.
fucking take the L and keep it moving. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kind
Yeah.
of wanted that game to be over sooner than later because I didn't want to put Tua in jeopardy. It seemed like they just wanted to injure our players. So, I'm
Right.
seeing what they did to our offensive linemen, you know, rolling over his ankle. It's just like if you see the play, it's just like how like that was
I
on
saw that
purpose.
too. That was some
Like, come on,
bullshit too.
man. So again, great game. We don't need too much talk about the Dolphins so much because we keep rolling. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
We keep
We'll keep
rolling
it
like
rolling.
Tina Turner. You feel
Yeah,
me?
we keep it rolling like a river to the next game.
You
And
feel
the
me?
next game is the Jets and the Raiders game. So first of all, I got to talk about this game because for those that don't know, I'm in a suicide pool, and a suicide pool is where you pick one team every week. You don't pick the same team. As soon as you get one wrong, you're eliminated. So from the beginning of the season to now, your boy Benjamin Port is still in it. So I picked the Raiders. Yes, I picked the Raiders to beat the Jets. Yeah, the Jets, right? They should be able to beat the Jets. Yo, these motherfuckers almost lost this game. They almost hated on your boy. I was like, what's going on? I thought it was over. I thought it was clearly over because when there was a point in the game where it was fourth down, they went for the touchdown, they didn't make it, and the Jets got the ball back. So they ran it 3 times, ran the ball out. So I think it was maybe 25 seconds left. They punted the ball back to the Raiders at 25 seconds left. So I was like, oh man, this is over. I'm already telling my wife, oh shit, I fucking lost suicide pool. She was like, damn, for real? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, against the Jets? And I was like, yeah, the one game that they decided to win was this game. And then all of a sudden, the football god shined on your boy, and the Raiders throw this bomb to one of their fastest players. I was more shocked that he was just running free. Like when the play was happening, I was like, is this boy running free? You know,
He
I was
caught an
like,
all-out blitz.
yo, is this dude just straight up running free? And the ball, I from how he threw it, I knew it was like lofted well. So I was like, yo, I know this dude is gonna run under it, and and he just caught it like they were just the only people on the field. You know, it was almost like they were purposely trying to lose this game so
Which
they
they
could
were.
get Trevor Lawrence. I was like, damn, really? Yeah, yeah. I mean, thank you very much for doing that. But like, that game was one of the craziest endings I've ever seen, especially with what I had riding on it. And after the game, their defensive coordinator gets fired. Greg Williams. No, not Adam Gase, not the head coach. The defensive coordinator gets fired. I'm like, what? The Jets defense played really well the entire game except for that last play. So I mean, I don't know, man. That's all I gotta say about it. Crazy game, but thank God I'm still in that suicide pool.
Look, man, I want you to win, but I definitely didn't want you to win last week. You know why? Because again, right now I'm looking at it like the Jaguars. This is Western Dominus again. The Jaguars, they got one win. The Jets need to win one game. You feel what I'm saying? Because I do not need to be playing Trevor Lawrence. That will be a new Tom Brady. We finally got Tom Brady out of here. You feel me? Josh Allen is already looking great. You seen that nighttime game, 4 touchdowns, balling, doing his thing. Like, I do not want to see a quarterback like that every week. You know what I'm saying? And you're in our division. You're not like you're in our division. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know that New England, they always find a way to keep in it. Right now, they're 6-6 with a team that have no wide receivers, a team that have a quarterback that's a shell of himself. You know, I don't know if he's injured.
Right
I don't
now.
know. Really, with Cam, I'm still kind of questionable on Cam right now. Why? Because he has no one around him. What do you expect him to fucking do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's besides the point. The evil empire always finds a way to stay in it. They're in our division. Josh Allen is in our division. You know, we're trailing by one game, but he finds a way to keep winning. You know, the whole knock on him last year was like, oh, okay, he's big, but that's another Cam Newton. He's not accurate. You know what I'm saying? He's just white. You know, and now he's actually accurate. You know,
Yeah.
then we were gonna get sunshine. I don't need sunshine. You feel me? I want darkness. You feel me? Because
We got
sunshine is
enough
gonna find
sunshine
a
down
way.
here.
Huh?
We got enough sunshine down here, man.
Exactly. I do not need him. So, you know, looking at that game, like the NFL need to go ahead and investigate this shit. Like, come on, man. Who's gonna like even in video games, you don't fucking do that. Like, come on, man. Like for
Exactly.
real. You don't even do
Exactly.
that
A
like
situation like that is prevent defense all day.
prevent. Everyone knows that. Prevent. You're just gonna swat the ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's fucking crazy that somebody else had to fall on the sword. Um, Probably because Adam Gase and him was kind of going back and forth with each other. The last few weeks, you know, people blame, you know, Gase blaming him, he's blaming Gase. You know, they're not. It's like they didn't have the conversation about what people are gonna ask them and how you should answer the question, and they just wind up throwing each other under the bus. So, hey, it is kind of like what Bruce Arians is doing right now with Tom Brady. But again, that game right now, it made me so fucking mad. I was happy they won. Trust me, I was happy they won because it's the Jets. I hate the Jets, but I just was like, dog. Right when they won, I thought about Trevor Lawrence, God. I'm just like, this motherfucker's gonna be on the motherfucking Jets, and we gonna have to play him all the time. But
Yeah.
again, it is what it is. The NFL got to go ahead and investigate that because, like, it was a clear cut finding a way to really lose the game that can injure
Honestly,
players and all type of shit. So nah, you know,
yeah,
I ain't
this is
respect it.
great.
I ain't respect it at all.
A team that was trying to win was the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, and that's why we got champagne in the background, baby. You know, we popping that champagne this week because the Steelers laid an egg against the Washington football team, and I called it, baby. I got to say that I called this game. I called that the Washington football team would beat the Steelers. And what I want to say about the Steelers, though, is that I don't believe in them at all. You know, they're pretenders, bro.
We both didn't believe in them.
They are pretenders. You know why? Because they don't have a running game. And you depended on Ben Roethlisberger to throw 40 to 50 passes a game. I mean, he can do it. He's Ben Roethlisberger, but he's old Ben Roethlisberger. And why would you put him in that situation to throw 40, 50 passes a game? A defensive lineman is going to get to him at some point, you know? And their receivers are good at times, but you know, for the past couple of games, they've been dropping balls, you know, and you can't drop balls against a team if you're undefeated, because you know every team is trying to knock you off. And Washington, that's exactly what they did. They went in there with basically nothing to lose, everything to gain with the win. Hung around in this game. There was no reason for them to even hang around. They
See,
hung
but you
around.
said they had you said they had the defense. Like how? You knew. You said it last week. You said the Redskins, they defense is on point. You feel me? And they gonna go, like that's exactly what happened.
Exactly. And I said their running game is on point, even though their rookie running back who's been balling got injured in the first quarter, but they still won. They didn't even need him. You know, you got check down Alex, who I like to call him, check down Alex. He came back, you know, from the leg injury, but he was never anybody who gave you a lot of passing yards. He was check down Alex. He always checks it down to the running back, and that's what he was doing all game. He was checking it down to the running back the entire time. Of course, he's not the running quarterback that he used to be either. So he tried to run a couple of times. You kind of got scared every time. He was like, damn, is he about to break his leg again? But he did just enough for them to win this game. And I'm glad, because now we get to pop champagne. The last undefeated team lost, and the 72 Dolphins remain immortal. Yo, did you see Zonka?
Oh yeah, I seen him. He had his Dolphin shirt on, vibing. You know, had his drink. You feel me?
In his hand.
That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Like, and that's exactly what I was doing. I was doing the same thing you was doing, but I was not popping champagne. It was a little bit more hard liquor for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we was vibed out. You know, that game. I didn't watch all of it. I kind of was going back and forth from it because, you know, like Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not a fun team to watch right now. Of course, everybody knows, like what Marcus said, they're a team that was built on the running game. When I see the Steelers, I think about Jerome Bettis, the bus, you know, a team like that, you know, that defense is stout. Exactly. You know, their defense is stout, you know, and they do their thing. And I'm not seeing that right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same thing with the defense. Yeah, their defense is okay, but their defense ain't great. You know, it's like the Pittsburgh Steelers soul was in the Washington Redskins defense, and you know, they didn't come with that urgency. It's like they're not confident in themselves. Now, sometimes I'll be thinking like people actually lose certain games to play certain teams in the playoffs. Like they're already kind of gauging who they should be playing, because you know, I know they don't want to play Kansas City first.
That's funny how you say that, because I was just thinking like this: if we get matched up with Pittsburgh, I feel like that's a great matchup for the Dolphins.
Yeah, we'll win. We'll win.
A great matchup for the Dolphins, because
and the storyline.
We force Ben Roethlisberger to throw. He's gonna throw to Xavier Howard, and you already know what's gonna happen there.
Oh, but not just that. Fitzpatrick wanted to leave the Miami Dolphins to go play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Imagine losing to the team that you didn't want to be on.
That's right.
Great storyline.
That is a great storyline for real. I'm still mad. I'm a little mad about that, because that was a player that I feel like we should have kept, because he was young. I loved him in college at Alabama. I wanted him to for that draft. When that draft happened, before the draft happened, I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna get Minkah Fitzpatrick. I hope we picked him, and we picked him. And then all of a sudden, like he was like, he's not buying into the culture, whatever. And then he left. I mean, I feel salty about it, you know?
I don't really feel salty about it, because if it's just like being in a relationship. Like if your ass don't want to be kept, why the fuck I'm trying to motherfucking keep your ass? You ain't want to stay over here, so go on somewhere else. You feel what I'm saying? We trying to build a different culture right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you have if it's because you're used to seeing people like Jarvis Landry and certain people like run their mouth about the organization. But this is old. That all those people that was involved with that old organization is gone. Besides the owner and our general manager, he was general manager, but he was just a face. He didn't make no decisions, because like when you have three people that got to make the decision, then you never gonna make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all you always got to find, keep people happy. But it is what it is. That game was a boring game, but hey, Washington Redskins wind up winning and pulling that game out. And what we've been saying, like we said that they were frauds. We said the Pittsburgh
Yeah.
Steelers, like they didn't look good. Now it's back to popping champagne and not even worried about our undefeated season for another year. So, big up to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Redskins for actually stealing a win from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coincidence. Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington stole.
Yeah, I see what you did there, bruh.
but 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 it's all good though, more wins. But again, we're gonna go ahead and transition to another game. We got the Giants versus the Seahawks. This is a game that I thought that the Seahawks was gonna do their thing. You know why? Because like, damn, I'm just gonna stop picking the Seahawks right now because like in the beginning of our podcast when I was like, yo, Russell Wilson, he's doing everything on the field, off the field, boom, boom, boom. Like, no, it's like you're losing it on the field and doing everything off the field. Whatever it is that you're doing, man, fall back. Because I thought you was a winner. I know it's not all you. I know it's a team sport, but you're not doing what I expect you to be doing. And that's win games. That's finding a way to have these game-winning drives. You got the ball in your hand, you're gonna find a way to win. Or if you got the ball in your hand, you're gonna find a way to not keep it in the other quarterback's hand and have them lose that way. So that game, you had the Seahawks, they defense right now, typical defense of the Seahawks right now. And then you had the Giants. The Giants is wind up coming full circle right now. Their quarterback from Duke, the actual basketball school, the
But
crazy.
he got hurt. He wasn't playing. You know who's quarterback in the Giants right now?
Ooh,
Colt McCoy, bruh. Colt McCoy is out there playing quarterback.
from
He is the one
Texas.
from Texas, bruh. He is the one who beat the Seahawks. So that's why this game was like even more intriguing because Daniel Jones didn't play this entire game.
Really?
He's got a hamstring injury. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. It was Colt McCoy who played in this game. So I am really kind of baffled as to what the Seattle Seahawks really are. I can't
Damn.
really, and since I can't really figure out who or what they are, I can't believe in them. I don't believe that they're a legit team. I mean, the Giants, who are a decent team, they got a good defense, a decent running game, but it's Colt McCoy, bro.
But
He's a
they're
back.
running. Ain't their running back injured for the season?
Oh, Saquon Barkley, yeah, he's been out for the
Yeah.
season. They've been playing with a backup running back, Wayne Gallman, the one from Clemson from last year. I mean, he's a decent running back, but he's young. He's no Saquon Barkley.
Hmm.
But this story is more to me about the Seahawks. Like, come on, man. You should beat the Giants at home. You should be able to beat Colt McCoy. So I,
Exactly.
I question the Seahawks at all going into these playoffs. I don't think they're a contender at all. Um, we can move on to the next game since we kind of running a little bit late on time. Titans and Browns. That was a game that you saw my boy Baker Mayfield ball out. I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield, bro. A lot of people are
I've been
not.
a fan. I'm a
Oh,
fan.
you a fan too?
Yeah, yeah. I like
Yeah,
I like the way he celebrate.
that's why I fucks with you, Wes. Because a lot of people are not a fan of Baker Mayfield, and I've been a fan of Baker Mayfield since college, and I was totally on board with him being the number one pick. I'm like, he is extremely accurate. He was the most accurate quarterback coming out of college that year. So I feel like, yeah, he sometimes he's got that Brett Favre in him though, where he just kind of throws that thing around.
See, but that's
He
the whole point of being young.
Yeah, he guns it out there, but yeah, Baker Mayfield finally showed out and they destroyed the Titans. This game wasn't really as close as the score showed. And this was like 35-3 at halftime, something like
Hmm.
that. Titans scored some late touchdowns to make it close. But the Browns are a legit team. That's a team that I think is going to make the playoffs. I feel like they could beat the Steelers when they play them this season. I don't feel like that's a team that beats the Dolphins if we're matched up with them because I feel like we'll make Baker Mayfield confused. But I just like Baker Mayfield that as a player, his attitude. He's just my type of quarterback, and I'm glad to see him win over the Titans.
Yeah, definitely. Like, same here. Baker Mayfield. All I could do is root for a guy like that. When everybody hate him, you got people like me and Marcus bigging him up. Because at the end of the day, sometimes you can't follow the trend of other people. You're gonna go ahead and talk the way you talk. You're gonna move the way you move, and sometimes that's gonna rub people the wrong way. But fuck them. You feel me? Because that's what got you here. So Baker, keep going ahead and celebrating the way you celebrate. I know people mad like, oh, he only got no rings. I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking game. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm playing a game and we're winning. Like we're all making money. I just did a good play. We're winning, and that's what it is. I got commercials on ESPN because obviously they know something. There's other quarterbacks. Like the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers, but their time has came and gone. Yeah, they're still in the league, but this is the new generation, and he's trying to find his way. A lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers, but he's still balling on these motherfuckers, right? So again, go ahead, big up to Baker Mayfield. Right now, you got a stout fucking team overall. Got a decent defense. You got
Run game.
a better than average quarterback. Got a good running game, better than average running game in Chubb and
Hunt.
exactly, somebody that should have been on the Kansas City Chiefs right now. So
Yeah,
they actually got a steal
just
in
kicked that
him.
girl, man. He kicked that girl, and it got filmed, and that's the reason why he got kicked off the Chiefs. You remember that video, right?
Yeah, I seen that shit, but it was, my whole thing is, at the end of the day, like, he shouldn't have done it, but I think there's always two sides of the story, and sometimes it's just like when you're in the league, same thing with what happened with the Dolphins and Devontae Parker and that dude on the side, was it Bouye? I'm not sure the oh yeah, Bouye wound up getting suspended for like 6 games too. But
Okay.
yeah, for PEDs from Denver Broncos cornerback. The one that used to play for Jacksonville Jaguars alongside Jalen
Oh,
Ramsey.
okay. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He
But
did.
yeah, sometimes you got the person that the NBA, NFL, the person that caused the problem never get caught on camera. It's the person that get caught with the reaction that always get caught. So again, I don't know what happened before. I know it was at a hotel room. I don't know if she stole money. I don't know if she did. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, she obviously did something
She did
shady.
something. People don't just wake up and be like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
got
I'm
some
just gonna
pussy
kick
right
this
here that's
girl.
really
Yeah.
willing to fuck something,
Right.
and I'm just gonna kick her out for no reason." That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. So whatever it is, the league gave him a second chance. Big up to that, and it is
And
what
now
it
he's
is. You
running
move
with it.
on.
He's
Exactly,
running
exactly.
with the Cleveland Browns. So big up to the Browns. So we're gonna
Mhm.
combine this last game with the Thursday night game, which both have the Patriots. So the Patriots, they dominated the Chargers, dominated them hoes.
Didn't I tell you?
They didn't score nothing. Nothing.
Evil
Where was
Empire.
Justin Herbert at? Where was he at? He was dominated by the evil empire. It was like he was just getting crushed. It was
Where's all the
like,
praises on that quarterback that they're saying is better than Tua? Oh, silence,
yeah.
silence.
Yeah, yeah, he's still, statistically he's still good, but he had two dud games. The one against us and then the one against these Patriots. Like, what the hell was that? 45-0? I mean, yeah, it was really more so I think the special team scored like two touchdowns. They had a blocked field goal for a touchdown. They had some other turnovers or non-offensive type of touchdowns. But still, like 45-0, you see that in college usually. You usually don't see that in the NFL. Like 45-0 is ridiculous. So
He's
what are
just
they gonna what are they gonna do now against the Rams though? They got the Rams on
They're not
Thursday
gonna
night coming up
they're not
tomorrow.
gonna do anything. Like you remember what I told you, when I was like, you got people that have all these yards and all these touchdowns and they wind up losing. You know what I mean? But then you got people like Tom Brady, in a better situation and they win Super Bowls. That's what we were talking about, Tua versus Herbert. I was like, look, Tua don't have to do much. He has a good defense. Special teams is doing good. Like you said, we got top 5 defense right now. Nobody want to throw against the X-Man. He has 8 interceptions in the league right now, leading all cornerbacks right now. I think right now he's kind of in contention with different defensive player of the year with TJ Watt. I think he could beat TJ Watt on that if he keep like he's the only person that get an interception a game. An
Yeah.
interception a game. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time that happened was when we was talking about Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like so again, I mean, you could have been Brock Marion, Fish Magic, but you're not, So it is what it is. Remember, it was Patrick Surtain, Sam Madison, and Brock Marion as the safety. So now your bitch ass went to Pittsburgh Steelers, so it don't even fucking matter. But again, like big up to them guys, man. The motherfucking excuse me, the motherfucking the Pats and the Rams game. I think the Pats is gonna do what they normally be doing. The evil empire keep finding ways to cheat. And that goes back to me saying like, um, Bill Belichick finding ways to actually win fucking games. Like it make you question like, damn, did they cheat? You feel me? For you to be winning the way you did, like, did you have a mic in the fucking locker room? Did you steal their plays? Did you videotape them like you normally do? But again, I didn't care, because I was kind of getting tired of motherfuckers talking about Herbert and comparing Tua every fucking ESPN show. I'm just happy that he's taking these losses right now, and people just like, well, we can't keep talking about them like they're losing. We're going to the playoff right now. It's playoff teams. So if you're not nowhere in that threshold, we don't need to talk about you maybe until next year. So again, right now, you're gonna be the new Philip Rivers, the Dodgers, and I think the Rams gonna go ahead and lose. Why? Because Bill Belichick is gonna find a way. Remember what the Patriots did to their ass in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna bring that up. That this is the
Like,
Super Bowl rematch of probably the most boringest Super Bowl in recent memory. It was
exactly.
like 12-3, I think was the final score of this game. So yeah, I agree with you. Unfortunately, or that they'll fortunately, since they'll win, they'll be away from Trevor. But we got the Jets to worry about. We already talked about that. But it seems like that's kind of out of the picture at this point. We more so got to worry about them just trying to make the playoffs or whatnot because they still in contention. So unfortunately, yeah, I feel like this is another evil empire, Darth Vader, Palpatine, using the dark side to win a game again. Like, and I'm like, damn, like why? But yeah, Jared Goof, I feel like is gonna be the next victim after Justin Herbert was. And yeah, the Rams do look good right now. They do have a strong running backs right now because all their running backs are finally healthy. But I just feel like they'll figure out a way to win. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a very very close game. But I think they're going to force Goof to make plays. You know, and
All
can
right.
you trust Goof? I mean, his last name's Goof. Can you really trust him? Like I don't think so. I just don't think so. I could be wrong. I might be wrong, but I hope I'm wrong. But I think the dark side, finds a way to get a victory over the Rams on Thursday night.
Yeah, and I think they do the same thing, and I think that the Patriots gonna win by a field goal.
I wanted to check the spread on this game to see what it was. Hold
I
on.
mean, it shouldn't be that serious, with the evil empire. They're gonna find a. Look, I guarantee the spread gonna probably say New England find a way to win. Because right now Bill Belichick is like, put some respect on my name. All that shit y'all talking about Tom Brady. Oh, it's Tom Brady that made us win these Super Bowls. Now Tom Brady lost 5 games in a row. You feel me? And Bill Belichick is just finding ways to win. So damn, who is it that actually is the guru? Is it Bill Belichick, or is it Tom Brady, Tom Shady?
You
Is
know,
it Belichick or Tom Shady?
we asked this question before, and we both said Tom Brady because he was winning at the time. Now that shit is flipped. So now I'm gonna flip my stance. I could do that.
Mhm. I
I
mean,
was
but
gonna
but
flip
but
my stance, and I'm gonna say because that's what I originally thought in the beginning. I originally thought I always feel like I'd rather have you know uh, a strong coach over. I don't know. I feel like you gotta have both actually. I feel like you got to have both a strong coach and a strong quarterback. But in this situation, I feel like Belichick is more important or wasn't more important to their wins than Tom Brady was. I
I
feel like
think
if you put Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, any of those quarterbacks on the Patriots, they win the same amount of championships, if not more.
yeah. And same thing like what you were saying as far as with the coach, like we seeing that Bruce Arians and Tom Brady is not seeing eye to eye. Whatever formula you guys have is not the formula that's working. You know, you're trying to go deep. I'm trying to go ahead and just get first down. So, hey, it is what it is. I think that they both was supposed to separate, but I think right now, until Tom Brady get that coach that's willing to go ahead and switch everything up, kind of like Kubiak did with Peyton Manning. He was running his offense at first, and then after that, he wind up going ahead and switching his whole offense and giving Peyton Manning what he wanted. And it wind up, being a good thing. He wind up winning his, I think, first Super Bowl. You're not Peyton Manning, but the head coach, and that's for not being stubborn. Bruce Arians, he's stubborn, and it's gonna wind up biting him in the ass because he's gonna wind up losing his job, and Tom Brady's gonna wind up picking and choosing whatever head coach that he won, and he possibly could win another Super Bowl. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it is what it is this weekend with a lot of games being canceled. Another game that's being canceled, with 100 or 1,000 games that have been canceled this year because of COVID, is Ohio State and Michigan. Man, like this is actually a game I just actually just like to watch. Just because I'm a football fan, I just like to watch rivalry games. It's one of the best rivalry games in all of sports, and this shit is canceled. But I smell some fishiness with this though.
Ah,
Like
come on,
there's
man.
some straight fishiness
Shit,
going
I'm
on
feeling
with this shit.
shit.
You
I'm
know, I
feeling this
feel
fish,
like
rotten eggs, all
all of
that.
that, man. Like what the hell? Michigan know damn well they were gonna lose that game regardless. So Michigan said, "All right, so y'all need another game. You know what? We just gonna say we got COVID, and you gonna not have an extra game to play, and hopefully that'll keep you out of the playoffs." But the fucked up part about it is that it's not going to keep them out of the playoffs. We talked about the playoffs a little bit earlier. Man, college football is some bullshit this year, straight up.
Mhm.
It's
Straight
some
up.
bullshit because you need a bigger playoff this year. If there's any year you need more teams in the playoff, it's this year because Alabama, if Alabama has to lose 2 games for them to be out of the playoffs, not gonna happen. Ohio State, even if they lose a game, they still might put them in. And you only got Florida as the only other team that could get in, and that's if they beat Alabama, which is probably not gonna happen. So the top four that you have right now is the top four that we gonna have. Because if Notre Dame loses to Clemson, you think they're gonna leave Notre Dame out? No, they're not gonna leave them out. So it's gonna be Notre Dame, Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson in these playoffs, which is ridiculous. But with Michigan, it's just comical how they just said, okay, well, we got COVID and we're not going to play this game.
Look, man,
It's just
Herbert,
unfortunate situation.
Herb Street, Ben said that, and
I
the
hope so.
athletic director of Michigan State, who was salty about him saying that, like, is not true, blah blah blah, type of shit, and it wind up coming to fruition. I think he said that shit 2 weeks ago, and it wind up happening the same way he said. You got on one head coach that's you got rumblings that he probably could possibly go back to the NFL. You know why? Because he can't get over Ohio State. Not just
Yeah.
that, but that whole thing. He was supposed to be the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what happened that made him want to leave, but he had Colin Kaepernick. He had a good office. He had a good
Made it to the
defense.
Super
He
Bowl.
made it to the Super Bowl like in the first couple of years. I'm like, what fucking happened? You know? So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Also, the other college game that of note that is really kind of probably the best game of the weekend is the Hurricanes against North Carolina. So it's pretty much kind of the biggest game of the year for the Hurricanes, besides the one that against Clemson that we played. And it's a blackout. It's a blackout too, man. We're doing the all black uniforms. So that's gonna look
Uniform.
nice. Yeah, it's gonna be a blackout, for sure. I think this is a game that the Hurricanes win. Hurricanes win close though. I think it's De'Aaron King, what you've been seeing all season from him, pulling first downs out of his ass on third down. That's what you're gonna see this weekend. I think you're gonna see the Hurricanes give up points because North Carolina's no slouch. They played Notre Dame pretty tough for 3.5 quarters. So I feel like this team is gonna hang with the Canes until the final moments. And I think De'Aaron King either comes up with a big play or your boy Jose Borregales, the kicker, out of Miami Booker T. Washington, kicks a game-winning field goal and wins this game, and the Hurricanes move on to a New Year's Six bowl game. But it's a huge game. It's a huge game for the Hurricanes to win, and for Miami, for Manny Diaz's like legacy. Like this is a big game for him. If he doesn't win this game, there's going to be some questions about him and his decisions in this game if they lose. So I hope they win just because
Uh,
being a Hurricanes fan,
you
but
don't
it's a
need
game that they gotta win.
you don't need a hope, man. We're gonna win. And the reason why I said we're gonna win is because of what we said earlier. I mean, Ivy's out, Al Blaze Jr.'s out, and Keontae Smith, he's always on the screen, like he pops out. So and not just that, we got our biggest offensive lineman that could give us a little push on the O line when it comes to the run game. I don't think he's somebody that could just push around like that. Now, I think there's other offensive linemen that probably got a little better footwork than him and certain things like that. But when you talk about just pure power, man, I'll be the one that will be running right behind him. So this game right here, I think is still, like you said, is gonna be a close game. I think UNC been waiting for this game, but everybody's talking about, oh, Miami playing UNC. Nah, y'all gotta fucking play us. I don't like what the fuck? Like, y'all gotta play us. We're ranked, yeah, and y'all ranked like 17 right now. You know, people gonna say who we played, but hey, we didn't make the fucking schedule. We're just playing who's on our schedule. The only team that we lost to is Clemson. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I know it was bad how we actually lost, but like, that was the first game, second game. Like, De'Aaron King just came onto the Canes, didn't have no continuity with his wide receivers, still trying to figure shit out. You got the COVID, people weren't able to train the way they want to on 1 and 2, they didn't have the access to the facilities like that. So again, there's a lot of things, like you said, this year, 2020 is a COVID season. There's a lot of things that kind of hindered Miami. You got our not Roche, but what's his name, Russo. He wound up opting out because of COVID.
Can you
Imagine we
imagine?
had
I was just thinking about that. Can you imagine if Russo was on this team, bro?
exactly. You
They'd
feel
be
me? There's
scared. They're already scared right now.
exactly. We killing people with Roche and Phillips right now. If we had him also on, oh, like, come on, man, we'll be destroying motherfuckers. So
Yeah.
again, I think this game is gonna be a close game. I think Miami pretty much, if Miami score first, or if Miami have a 2 possession lead early on in the game, I think that Miami's just gonna keep putting a foot on their neck. But if they let UNC score first and they always have to answer, then I think it'll be a close game and Miami wind up winning with a field goal. But if Miami win by like not win but have like a two possession lead, winning by 9 points, 10 points, or 14 points early on in the second quarter, I think that it will be like we winning by at least 14 points or have a um, 2 possession lead on them by the end of the game. So hopefully it go the way I want. Of course we're not playing in the ACC no more, but it is what it is. So if we could go ahead and mop these motherfuckers and shut motherfuckers up, then I guess next year when we do come out with the polls again, Miami will be kind of a little further up, possibly number 7, possibly number 6, and we'll build from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they could shut the running game down and they could force them into third and long, it could be a long day for North Carolina and they could blow them out. Like in situations like that, I feel like they could blow them out. And
Definitely.
yeah, by the way, Benjamin Report will be at the game. I'll be tweeting about the game at _Benjamin Report. So look out for the live tweets or any inside information that I can gather during the game. And also we'll just talk a little high school football this weekend. A lot of playoff games. This weekend, this Friday. I'm gonna go through some quick picks because with all the picks, I'm pretty much going with the home team. You already know.
Of course.
South Florida boys are gonna come through and wreck shop. And those games to me were let's see, St. Thomas. I feel like St. Thomas is going to go up. They go up to Bloomingdale, so they go up to the Tampa Bay area.
Bloomingdale, they about to do their hair.
Bloomingdale. Oh shit! I'm so used to saying it, I don't even realize it no more. The first time I saw it, I was like Bloomingdale. But yeah, Bloomingdale, it's in the Tampa area. They got a strong team, but I don't think they're strong enough to beat them boys from down here. St. Thomas, I think, moves on to the state championship game with a win. I think Miami Palmetto beats Osceola Kissimmee. Osceola Kissimmee is going to come down. Osceola Kissimmee is out of Orlando area. They're coming down here. I think Palmetto and all those Hurricanes commits dominate, even though they don't really got a quarterback and they're running with the Wildcat offense. I still feel like they find a way to win. The real question is the next game, so we'll see about that. Dillard and Heritage and Tampa Jesuit, another team I feel like is going to dominate. I feel like Heritage has got one of the best defenses in the country. I've talked about their defensive backs and how they strong, so I feel like they'll dominate Tampa Jesuit and move on to the championship game. The real game that's going to be, I think, is going to be kind of close is Miami Central versus Palmetto. Palmetto is actually, there's another Palmetto out around Sarasota area. They played Central last year tough. It was a close game in this round. So it was Central's closest game in the playoffs last year. So I think it's going to be close again. But this game is in Dade County. And when you're in Dade County, it's a different game. And I feel like Central is going to finally really show how great they are against Palmetto, and they move on to the next round easily. And Dillard and Glade Central is probably one of the best games of this weekend, but I feel like Dillard is a team that I saw personally firsthand. Look at the Benjamin Report on what I saw from them last week. They look great, and I think they continue their dominance to move on in the Tri-County Championship. And Dillard and Western is actually a really good game. Deerfield and Western, and I think is a good game, but I think Deerfield pulls it out over Western. And I did have to talk about the home team, NMB. NMB actually beat Carroll City last week. I can't believe I forgot to mention that last week, man.
Okay.
NMB beat Carroll City last week in a playoff game, and they look great. But they're going to play a really talented team in Killian. The last time I saw Killian play NMB was when Lamar Miller was the running back for Killian. And you probably already know how that went. It was just bad. It was
Yeah,
just,
like 200 yards.
yo, dude, like was getting the ball, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Like I feel like it's gonna be probably a similar result. Hopefully NMB could pull it out. But I think if you betting your money on it, you got to go with Killian to win this game. So that's all I have for the Benjamin Report as far as my picks for the week. Should be a very fun, interesting week. I'll be at the Palmetto Central game on Friday, and then of course I'm at Canes UNC on Saturday.
So
All
yeah.
right.
So we'll catch you on our Saturday episode. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to do it like in person, so we're gonna go ahead and probably do it via Zoom.
Via
But
Zoom.
lock in. You know it's gonna be Saturday. Chris will have us up and running by 11 o'clock. So y'all have the episode by like 12. So you guys have a good one. See you guys this Saturday. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Stay COVID free.
Yep.
Peace.
Stay safe.